I'm F60, exhausted by my husband's M68, unconventional and inappropriate behavior. Married 35 years with 2 adult sons. There's tons of backstory and many people have suggested he's on the spectrum. He's a good person and he loves me and our family, but his inappropriate comments and behavior, so many to mention, have pushed me away emotionally for decades. Today, he mused that we could save money by euthanizing our 3 dogs. We had dinner with 6 other friends last night and he brought up all their shortcomings, thinking it was funny. Splitting up isn't the answer, but boundaries, logic, pleading, etc. is fruitless. We've probably had at least 6 years of therapy. I'm becoming less tolerant and more impatient and unkind by the week. How can I grow patience? Update. Thank you all for your generous support and perspective. I'm afraid of the painful complexities of splitting up and don't believe I have the bandwidth for it right now. One son, 25, has just been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and I'm my elderly mom's, 81, also bipolar, only child. I work FT and basically support my son, husband, and mom. The social, familial, financial, emotional, and religious consequences seem frightening, although I do see how a split is possible with planning. Why is the answer you being patient? Why is it not an option to just let shit blow up in his face when he's saying stupid or heartless stuff? Why do you think it's your job to compensate for his shortcomings? Also, joking about killing the pets is not an autistic thing. It's a whole thing. I'm 63, don't waste any more time on this dude. If you don't want to split up, then facilitate your own separate life. Don't socialize with him. Avoid as many situations as possible where he irritates you. When he says stupid shit, walk away without responding. Get out on your own and put your efforts into developing interests and activities that don't include him. You are not his prisoner. You are entitled and capable of having joy, friendship, and activities that enrich your life, that he is not party to. Many married people lead separate lives. For your own sanity, join them. You're unhappy, why isn't splitting up a possible answer? Seriously, do you want to suffer the next 20 years like this? How could you grow patient of that type of behavior? Like, really? Him suggesting you euthanize your pets to save money is some screwed up BS. So, if what else he says is on par with that remark, or worse, then yeah, that would be enough for me to leave the marriage immediately. Why didn't you interrupt him when he tours down your friends? Stop, you're being rude. It's not funny, it's cruel. Is living separately and dividing off more of your time possible? Even a break or a separate holiday? Staying a friend, family member, Airbnb near work for a few weeks just to try it out? Unfortunately, you're a person. You can't force yourself to happily tolerate behavior you find intolerable. My 33F husband, 40M, said I can only go on my BFF hen do if I pay for it and arrange childcare. I'm a stay-at-home mom with no access to joint finances. I receive an allowance. My best friend is getting married abroad and decided to also have her hen party abroad. My husband says this is very selfish of her to expect people to basically plan their year family holidays and budgets around this, and I tend to agree. First he told me I couldn't go as I am a mother and my place is with the children. He has been on countless stag parties abroad, before kids, in the UK after kids, and plenty of trips away on his motorbike. This has now changed to I can go but I would need to pay for it all and you will not take any time off work, etc. So I would need to ask his mother-in-law to look after the kids and do school drop-offs, etc. I've agreed as I have a small amount of savings. I've had this sort of treatment for 10 years from him, so it's difficult to understand what is and isn't okay. Should he be willing to at least take time off work? This is not okay. You have no access to what should be a joint account. This is called financial abuse. You're allowing him to treat you as an indentured slave. Why do you accept this? Your husband is financially abusive. Instead of blowing your savings on the hen do, perhaps you should be using it as part of a safe exit plan. I am sorry, but keeping money from you and refusing to see you as an equal that deserves a break too, that's not a loving relationship. I am a SOM and my husband has booked days off work so that I am able to go on a break with friends. Just as I would look after our son for longer than usual in a week so he can take a break away. Your husband has no appreciation that you should be a team, and I think you'd be better off without him. This honestly makes me scared for you. Your husband is controlling and isolating you through money and I can't see it ending well. I strongly urge you to reach out to some trusted loved ones to make them aware of the situation, and I'd start looking into ways to options for earning your own money. You are being financially abused. Please talk to a lawyer to see what your options look like. You deserve better and your kids deserve a better example of how a partner treats you. Update me. I, 26F, am scared to end my engagement with my fiancé, 31M. I'm terrified to end my engagement with my fiancé. We've been together for 3 years and have only 3 months until the wedding, and my family is coming in from the US to Switzerland. People have bought their tickets. The reason I'm so hesitant is that the evening after the engagement at the end of 2023, I learned that he was talking to an ex the week that he proposed. Nothing flirtatious, it was she who reached out, asking why they were no longer friends. I found it inappropriate to do the week he proposed. Then in May 2024 I saw that he was talking to another ex saying weird things like, "I know I'm hard to forget blah blah blah," which goes really against my boundaries. And to top it all off, he has hit me once around this time last year. It was more like a slap across the face. He once strangled me for 0.05 seconds another time like a year and a half ago, and then most recently he did a jest as if he was strangling me maybe 2 weeks ago. Each time he says how embarrassed he is and how sorry he is. He's from another culture than me, where the man is more dominant, and the woman kind of stays in the kitchen or takes care of the kids. He told me that the men are usually like children where he's from. I feel a disconnect because there's not only a language barrier but he's not into the things I'm into. He quickly labels them as white people activities and complains. I haven't been taking this decision lightly. I don't have many friends as I'm in a foreign country, but I have sought out help from advisors, a therapist, and have been praying, but I still feel tormented. This is my first relationship, so maybe that's why I'm so scared to end it. Maybe I have low self-esteem. Does anyone think it will ever get better? I'm also scared of canceling and fearful of everyone being angry towards me, spending money just to support me. I just wish I ended it when he first strangled me in March 2024 and first hit me in May of 2024. Edit. Thank you for your responses. I'd like to add that his family and a couple friends know what he did. They were angry with him in the moment but said I should stay. One of his aunts said we need to decide for ourselves if we want to continue the relationship or not. For those saying to go home, I have a job here in this country. The contact also ends in 3 months. I agree that the simplest way to leave would be to take a flight back home, but do I also just throw out my budding career for an abuser? The abuse will get worse. This man is capable of killing you. It's so much easier to leave now than deal with divorce and God forbid a custody dispute. Read, Why Does He Do That? By Bancroft. Then get to safety. I 100% promise you that each and every person who bought those tickets to fly over would be more than happy to cancel their hotels and flights in exchange for you not marrying a man who strangles you. Pick just one, call them and say to them what you said to us about the slapping and strangling. I promise you they'll want to bring you home. This will never get better. If you can, grab your clothes and hop on a plane. Come home, love. We miss you anyway. He hit you and strangled you? Look up the stats on choking and death by DV. You need to leave now. This is a dangerous man and you don't want to become another statistic. The last thing you mention is the hitting and strangling? You can't marry him. He's physically abusive. Do you want to end up dead? Who cares about him talking to an ex when he is hitting you or strangling you, even if it's for 0.0005 seconds? That is a no-no. What would you tell your daughter or sister? I have called off a wedding once in 2015, 4 months before the date. I didn't have any strong reasons as you do. It was just my gut telling no, and I went through with it. I said no, it was hard, I was alone. Everything sucked. I was depressed for 2 years, but it's all good now. I had a wonderful growth in those 2 years. I don't regret saying no because in that moment I felt strongly about it. I promise these people would rather lose dollar on their plane tickets to your wedding than buy another to attend your funeral. This guy sounds dangerous. Reach out to a DV group near you and make a safe plan to leave him, and do it. Mike, 23F, boyfriend, 22M, spent the entirety of a concert with another girl. What now? For some context, we have been dating for 4 years and we attended this concert with 3 other friends. This was a fairly sized concert in an outside venue, so some people stood breast the front to see the stage and others sat in the elevated grassy section in the back. The artist playing has a variety of hype songs and sad love songs. Upon arriving at the concert, my group, me, my boyfriend, and 3 friends, found a spot at the front standing area to watch the concert opener. While walking there, my boyfriend says to me, "Don't be mad, but Emily, 19F, is here." Emily is a friend from school in the same program that often studies with him and sometimes hang out. I'm not the type to say that my boyfriend can't have friends that are girls, however historically he has shown that he has a hard time setting boundaries with them, so I am a bit more cautious in that sense. That being said, I'm not really sure why he had to preface the "don't be mad" part, unless he was going to give me a reason to be upset. At the pause between the opener and main artist, my boyfriend asked if Emily could come say hi. Emily attended the concert with her friends who preferred to sit in the back, so quite a distance from us. I've never met this girl in person or interacted with her, but I said sure or suggested that we could meet after the concert since she was sitting somewhere else. She walked to us instantly and she was really nice as we exchanged greetings and introductions, but she never went back to her other friends. Throughout the concert, she planted herself right next to my boyfriend and was chatting and laughing with him. I was getting a bit annoyed and texted my boyfriend about how I thought she came with other friends, and his response was that she wanted to see the concert up close. I didn't want to cause a scene, so I just stood in front of them and tried to enjoy the concert, stupidly hoping that at some point he would reach for me or move to stand next to me. That didn't happen. Instead, I hear them giggling when one of the love songs come on. Now I'm just lost in limbo. I've expressed to him about my discomfort in the situation, and initially he annoyingly brushed it off. How they're just friends and I'm overreacting. A mutual friend reached out to me and said that this situation is very reminiscent of something that happened 6 months ago with another girl, stating that his lack of boundaries is extremely concerning. Which it is, and every time I feel like I'm beginning to trust him again, he seems to break it. He did end up apologizing, but it still bothers me a lot, and it's always so hard to move forward from these things. I'm open to any general advice or comments on what to do moving forward. Look at his actions, not his words. Apologies mean nothing if he keeps disrespecting you. And he was majorly disrespecting you. He needs to show respect moving forward, or you dump him. If he has a history of doing this kind of thing, it doesn't sound like it's worth trusting him. I'm not saying break up immediately. Give him a chance at your discretion. But if you stay with him long term, it sounds like you're always going to be waiting for the other shoe to drop. It feels like a pattern, doesn't it? And maybe you're right to question how much more you can endure these repeated disappointments, so perhaps consider scheduling a frank conversation with him, not accusatory, but a direct, I need to understand what boundaries look like for you, and I need to see a real change because I value my own emotional safety. It sounds like you're dealing with a boyfriend who's got a habit of pushing boundaries, and it's wild that this concert thing isn't even a one-off. Honestly, it's frustrating to see someone you care about behave so carelessly and disrespectfully, and it's really valid that you're feeling hurt and questioning the whole relationship. It's like, should you even bother trying to fix something when it keeps happening? It really feels like he's not grasping the impact his actions have on you. And it makes you wonder if he even values your feelings in the first place, and maybe that's something you need to really consider. He's a boy who wants to test out other women before he settles down. This is a pattern, and it will happen again. Maybe even after, if you get married. He may not realize it, maybe you don't either, but he's preparing to cheat or monkey branch. If it was so innocent, he wouldn't be both tiptoeing around you and then all in with her once he's gotten your permission. Even your friends see the writing on the wall. It doesn't matter if he says he's sorry. His actions speak much louder, and you're not going to change him. So the question is, why are you letting yourself be stuck in a relationship where you're being dismissed and disrespected? He probably wants female attention in a serious relationship. This would be a red flag. At his age, such a trait is not uncommon, but it's all the more disrespectful when it occurs in your presence. I'm not the type to say that my boyfriend can't have friends that are girls. That's a lie. So here is what you do. You don't try to change someone who violates your boundaries over and over. You move on to someone who doesn't. The only thing you do by sticking around with the repeated same behavior is enable it. Why would I change anything? I got nothing to lose other than a few weeks of the person bitching to anyone that will listen, and then it will all go away. Know what I mean yet?